Hey ladies, today I'm going to show you a easy look that you can do using our Splurge Cream eyeshadows and our palette number 2. Now our palette number 2 is one of my favorites. Here lately I've been addicted to the palette number 3, but I'm going to go back to my favorite for right now. So I have our Elegant Splurge Cream eyeshadow. This is going to be a champagne-y type of color, so it's great as a neutral, kind of goes with anything. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it on my lower lid. I like to put it on there nice and thick. And then we'll go back in and blend it in just a little bit. So what I do is I do one eye, and then I go on to the other eye, and then I'll come back to this one. One thing that I love about the splurges is that they are great worn alone. So you can wear them just by themselves, or you can mix them with either our loose mineral eye pigment powders or our Addiction shadow palettes. What's great about that is you can either, of course, have the splurges worn alone, or instead of having a primer, this kind of works as that, and it'll help your eyeshadows stick so they're not going to fall all over your face. If you weren't using one of our splurges as a base, you would want to have a primer put on first. That way your eyeshadow has something to stick to and it'll bring out the colors so much better. So now that I have that in both places, I'm just going to go in, and in the crease, I'm just going to kind of do a back and forth motion, and I'm going to blend it in. That's going to kind of fade that line that I had. This would be slightly more noticeable if I had a darker color on, but I wanted to do a more subtle color because I'm going to do a pop of color in on my lips. Kind of the rule of thumb is if you want to do a bold lip, you want your eyeshadow to be more complementary, a little bit more subtle. If you were doing a neutral lip or no lip at all, then you could do a bold eyes. So that's kind of how that goes. Next I'm going to go on with our palette number 3, or palette number 2, sorry. And I'm going to go on with some of the, like the Perplexed. I'm going to put that in the creases and kind of blend that in. I love the cool tones. All of the grays and blacks and things like that. Those are some of my favorites. So I'm just going to do it in the corner and blend it up into my crease a little bit. I have to go back and forth sometimes because I decide if I like it darker later. Usually on my second eye is when I'll decide how dark I want it. You can always go darker later. Can't really undo it easily, so it's great to start out more subtle. And then I really love the shimmer that's with Blissful here, especially because it matches that splurge really well. It's close to the champagne-ys. So I would just come in and blend that. The splurge is nice and complementary and helps it stick. It's going to stay all day because those splurges, they don't go cakey or anything like that, so they're not going to budge. You're not going to have those lines in your creases throughout the day because they're moving around or anything like that. Even if you get all hot and sweaty, anything like that, they're not going to move. I've gone out and played sports with my husband and some friends before during the day, and it's been like 90 degrees out. I've had on like my Dainty, which is my favorite, absolute favorite splurge. I've had that on, an eyeliner and mascara, and it has not gone anywhere. So it's an amazing little fact. They're not going to budge on you, and you're not going to be stranded with some eyeshadow that's running or caking. Because my thing, like before I got into Younique, was I would always be afraid to blink. If my eyeshadow was going cakey or anything like that, I'd be afraid to blink. So no fears like that with Younique. So now that I have that on, I'm going to go on with my black. I just had it here. Oh, right there hiding. I'm gonna go on with my black, which is our perfect. So go on with black. I'm gonna do a tight line underneath my lashes. Just kind of filling in underneath of there. And then I'm gonna go on my lower. If you like more of a bold line, like the on top of your lashes, I love using our liquid eyeliners for that. So I have one of those here. I actually just got it in. My other one I've had since December and just finally used the last of it up, so I had to order another one. I absolutely love these. A tip for storing them, to get the most life out of them, is storing them upside down. That way the ink is always flowing to your tip, and it'll help with the application. It'll go on more smoothly and keeps your tip fresh, so it'll last longer. Just gonna start in the corner there. There we go. Yeah, I have a little bit of a cold right now. I love how easily these glide on though. Like, even though I can't talk while doing this. Even though I have the splurge and the eyeshadow on, see how effortlessly it's still just gliding on. And you can always go back if you have one side a little bit more bold than the other or anything like that. You could just go back on and draw a little bit more. I used to never be able to do this. Like, before I got this eyeliner in, trying to do anything like winged tip at all. Like, I mean, this isn't a true wingtip. But even drawing like on top there, I could never do it without completely messing up, and I'd have to wipe all of my makeup off. So I just quit doing it. But now that I have the Younique, it works really well. So now I'm gonna go on, and I like to just blend it in just a little bit. So I'm gonna use that brush. I'm not putting any more makeup on it or any more eyeshadow from what I did when I put the Blissful on, but I'm just gonna go on and just blend it a little bit. So it's slightly more subtle. It's not quite as bold, but it's still there. Now that's just going to be a personal preference. If you like it nice and bold like that, then you can definitely leave it. If not, it works great just to blend a little bit. Now I'm going to go on with our mascara. You have your dual tubes. The one is your transplant gel, which is going to help hold those fibers in place. Then you'll go on with our fibers, which I think are like cotton candy. I know I've said that before. And you'll go back on with our transplant gel to lock the fibers in place. So I'm gonna start out here. I always think it's funny in videos, I feel like I'm blinking so fast. I really do just put my mascara on like this. And a tip to helping your mascara last longer is you want to pump. I mean, you don't want to pump, you want to twist. That's what I'm trying to say. I was trying to say you don't want to pump. Oh my gosh. You want to twist it, you don't want to pump. Pumping, it'll get all that extra air in there that you don't want to have in there, because that'll dry it out. Same goes with any mascara, really. And I love that you can keep building. So I'm just going to go in with the second coat here. You can go on with as many coats as you want, going back and forth to get them as big and bold as you want them. I don't know why I just can't seem to do mascara or eyeliner without my mouth like hanging open. It's so weird. I'm like intentionally having to tell myself, don't close your mouth, don't open it. Weird. Another thing about the mascara is if you ever did not want to do the fibers for some reason, or you just really wanted it to be subtle, you can just go on with that gel and only use the gel if you want. Here lately, I did that the other day. I put on just gel because I was like, I want to see what I think about it, just gel. I had on a natural, just like my BB cream and mascara. I was just kind of running out the door. So I put the gel on to see like how I liked it, just gel. And I felt naked all day. Like, true story. Anytime I looked at myself in the mirror or anything, it's like, ooh. I'm so used to my lashes being big now. Can even them out. I'm not going too big, but there is with 2 coats of fibers. And then what I'm going to do is I just like my bottom lashes to kind of complement the top. I don't like them being too big. So I'm just going to do the gel. I don't know why. I just really like playing with my mascara like so much. Unless I'm in a hurry, I will sit in front of the mirror and just add and play and add and play, and it's crazy. So next, what you're going to want to do is, if you have a powder puff brush, you'll notice you might get a few little loose fibers. They just brush right off. Fibers from the mascara will just brush right off like that. Now I'm just going to use a little bit of our eye pigment powders. This color is Sexy. Okay, there it is. I'm just going to take a little bit and go right underneath of my brow to act as a highlighter. It's a lot more subtle, but I really like doing it because it just helps blend the colors in a bit and just highlights your brow bone. These are the loose mineral pigment powders that I was telling you about that you can use with like the primer. They just come in cute little pods, so you can choose any colors. There's a whole lot of them, different mattes and shimmers and things like that. So there you have it. There is your easy little eye look. Next, I'm just going to go on and do a lip. So I'm going to go on with our glorious face and eye primer. This is just one little trick I learned recently, that if you're going to be using a lip stain, as long as you let this dry, then you can put it on your lips and it'll help bring out the color in your lip stain. Now normally you don't want to have anything on your lips before you do a lip stain, which is why I say let this dry really well. Alright, so while that's drying, I'm going to go on with my blush. And I'm just going to do a little bit because I already had my foundation and a little bit of bronzer on before starting the video. I'm just going to go on with a little here. And like I said, I like messing with my mascara, so I'll just go on a lot. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I'll just be putting on mascara. I like my eyelashes so big. I always have a weird time when I'm going for like a more subtle look. Like I just want to do multiple coats. Get them big. Alright, so I'm going to go on with our Sultry lip stain. This is one of my favorites because I love reds. So you can easily go on with just a lip stain, or you could use our Primal lip liner and just kind of go on. I like doing this just because it creates a better sharp line. So I'll just go on a little subtly with it. Whenever you do the Glorious, it's not gonna be as bold around the edges. Let me sharpen it a second. Ooh, stuff's falling everywhere. I hadn't tried this before. Normally I'll just do my lip stain when I'm doing the Glorious. I tried to do something different. It's not quite working right there. But go on with that lip stain. This helps at least with the bottom. It won't go on as well with the Glorious. The lip liners won't because it is oily like, but it'll help this stick on. And I just like putting that there just for my lip liner, or lip stain, I mean. And before your lips are dry, you don't want to be smacking and rubbing them together. So you just kind of want to let it dry naturally on its own. But there's your look for you. I hope you loved it and have a great day. Bye.